Today I'm going to share with you a really good money farming route that you can even do at low level. Although if you do it low level, there's a few resources you'll miss, so you won't make as much per hour, but you'll still make really good per hour. Now, if you have 175 logging, 175 mining, and 175 harvesting, then you'll be able to get the maximum out of this route, which is really good. It's a really good route. And not only is it a good route, it's a fun route. I actually had a lot of fun running this route. It's really good. So before I even go into it, though, one thing I want to make sure is clear on this one. Out of all the routes you will ever run from the routes I show you on this YouTube, you are going to want a bow and something else like a rapier or a great axe, something, the fire staff with the dash, if you can, because it's really important to do that because we're doing so much running on this one. There's so much ground to cover. So if you're not familiar with the bow, it's going to be dodge and weave, so you gain movement speed after dodging, and it's going to be archer speed, which gives you haste when you pull out the bow. That'll help you get around faster and get the maximum amount out of this route. So this route takes place in Great Cleave. We're going to be farming everything. There's so much to get. There's weirdwood, there's lodestone, there's moats, there's orichalcum ore, there's silk threads, there's ironwood, there's just so much star metal, wire fiber. We're getting it all. And there's a route that I have mapped out that really capitalizes on it. But the biggest thing here is we are going to be abusing the fact that Azoth is now borderline free. That opens up this entire route. Without that, that would cut the cost. That would make the route so costly if we didn't have that. So before you do this route, you're going to want to unload as much of your inventory as you can. And I'll explain why once we look at the map. So let's take a look at the map. I'm going to show you guys a map with everything marked and the route that I'm doing, and I'm going to walk you through it so you know exactly what you're doing with it. Oh, and one last quick thing before we start. In the description of this video, there's the first paragraph. After that, I have a link to the playlist that has all of my money farming routes in it. Some of them are outdated because I posted them 2-3 months ago, but the route is still there. It still exists. And then below that will be my social links, so my Discord, my Twitch, and my Patreon, where I post some little, trading tips and stuff that are too small for the YouTube, if that sounds interesting. But anyway, let's go on to the map. Okay, so the way that this is going to work is you're going to start here at the east outpost in Great Cleave. Now you're going to head along the road, and right here, I only marked 1X, but there's a big cluster of weirdwood trees here. But people will run through all the time, so you just grab whatever you can get. You're not guaranteed to get all the weirdwood. Sometimes you do, sometimes you get one, sometimes you get none. You cross the road, and then right in here is another patch of weirdwood trees. So go in there and just grab whichever ones you can, whatever's there, and you're going to head over to the right, and there's this wolf den with star metal wolves. We're not going to be killing the wolves, though, but on the outside of it, south side, like right along it, you go there, and there's some lodestone right there. Then you wrap back around and go into the cave, walk around the doggo, and get lodestone that's behind him, and then come back around him again so you don't have to fight him. Then there's one right here we're going to, and there's two ways to get to it. You can get up the ledge here and backtrack and get around, something like that. Or you can just go all the way around like this, and if you go like that, you're going to get these spring stones here for water moats, and then there's 3 lodestones right here. So whichever way you pick, you're going to get those. Then you're going to drop down here, and there's a lodestone here, and then you're going to come around and back up on this rock. There's a lodestone here, and there's another one just beside it if you look down the ledge. Then what we're going to do, we're going to drop, and we're going to try to get through here with either killing enemies or just trying to not aggro them if you can avoid it, just to save time. There's 2 lodestone spawns here. You get whichever ones are available. And for all this, you get whatever's available. It's not always available because it's such a crowded place, but grab anything you can. Then you're going to cross the water here, go up some stairs. You're going to come over here, and there's a lodestone here all by itself that's sometimes there, but it's on the side of the road, so not always there. Then you're going to go along like this, and right behind this house, there's 3 lodestone spots that people very frequently miss. So we're going to be going there and grabbing that. Then you're backtracking around. You're coming down here, and there is a lodestone here and salamander slime, which are rarely there, but you might as well check. You come back around, climb some rocks. Up here, there are 3 lodestone spawns. So they're worth a check. And if they're there, you grab them. They're frequently there if no one's running the route. Then you backtrack, and you come along like this, and you're going to go through here. And right in here is this little place where you can find ironwood. There are 5 ironwood trees, but one of them, I don't remember, maybe it wasn't 5. Maybe it was 4. I'm trying to think. 1, 2, 3. No, there's 4 that you can get, and there's one that's inside of a building, and it won't let you get it. It's like, it's play strong, okay? So you're going to get 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then you're going to come back around and get 1 out here. Then from there, you're going to go straight down like this. You're going to drop off this ledge and pop. You might want to bring infused health potions for this run, by the way, guys. It helps just pop them whenever you need them, just to save time. They're so cheap right now that you can just get them whatever. But there's a bunch of silk threads here and a little bit more to the south of it, just right in plain sight. Then you are going to, after you get those, you're going to head north. There's a little patch right here, and then you're going to come across the road, and there's a little patch here. Both these are guarded by one random wolf, but generally I just ignore the wolf. And then you go along this road, and right here you'll find a little bit more silk thread to grab, and that's on the way to this. You grab a lodestone here on top of these rocks, go over here to grab some lodestone, then backtrack to this one single lodestone. Then you're going to go around the front of this fort, and there's, I think it was 2 lodestones right here. And then you come along here, and there's 2 or 3 right here, I think 2. And then you cross the road, and there's a little bundle of silk threads here. I forget how many, 4 or 5 or something. And then you're going to cross right here, and there's 2 lodestones here if they happen to be there. Then you're going to go up here and see how much weird wood is here. On the approach, you'll be able to see how much is there. They're real obvious. So if you're coming along like this and it looks like it's all gone, just start heading through. Otherwise, you know, you go get whatever's there, and then you're going to come through here, and there's 2 lodestone here. You can skip these if you want, because the enemies that chase you will try to beat on you, and depending on how many you aggro, it might not be practical, and they're gold border, so even though they're level 50, they're just annoying. So if you end up with more than 1 on you, you might just want to skip this. It's just 2 lodestones. Not worth sitting there for, you know, 5 minutes fighting them or whatever. But after that, you're going to come out here, and there is a big bundle of silk threads here, a bunch of them, a little patch of them. Then you're going to come down here and around the south side of this building, right on the, like, it's on a cliff, kind of. There's an orichalcum ore right there, which you definitely grab. That's good money right now, at least. You come through there. There's a little path to get through this wall right here. And over here, there are 2 orichalcum ore spawns. And you're going to check those to see if they're there. And then you're going to come up here, get along like this, and come in from the north side to get up on this ledge. And there's 2 star metal nodes. Then you're going to come over like this to get onto this one, and there's 3 star metal nodes up here. And while you're up here, you can see over here to see if these orichalcum ores have respawned. So like if you went there and they weren't there because someone else got them, you get one last check before moving on, where after you get these, you look down to see if they're there, and if they are, you go get them and then come back around. If not, then right here the shortcut. You can skip through the mountain right here. It's a little tricky to learn at first, but it's definitely doable. It's really not that difficult. And then you're going to get through there, and at the top there's a star metal ore vein right along the edge of the mountain. And then you're going to get out right here. There's wire fiber right here. And then up in here, you come in the front gate, and there's an obvious wire fiber right there. There's also 2 more in there, but they're glitched, and you can't actually get them. Then you're going to go along here, 1 more wire fiber, and then we're going to go south. And there is a springstone, and you're going to come along here. There's 2 more springstones. And then you're going to come over here, and there are 3 star metal nodes, which are not always there because how close they are to the outpost, but you get them if they're there. Then you're going to come along here, and you're going to try to not aggro the enemies and get these 2. You might just want to ignore these, though, because they're kind of annoying, but you can go in there and aggro them, and then run down here, drop on a ledge, wait for them to de-aggro, come back, whatever. But there are 2 right there if you feel like getting them, just because they're right here. And then you drop back down, you go into the outpost, and then once you go into the outpost, you are going to drop all that you gathered, everything that you gathered, you're going to drop it into your storage. And then you're going to fast travel back over to here, because fast traveling's so cheap now with the Azoth cost being reduced. Not being reduced, the cost of the Azoth bottles being reduced. So yeah, you just drop all your stuff to reduce your weight, and then you fast travel over to there. And you just keep doing that. And whenever you're done, you just come here, grab everything that you collected. You either list it from here, or you pick it all up and recall to a house or an inn to just get it out of there if you want to go sell it somewhere else. Unless you've done it long enough that you have, like, 3,000 weight of stuff, then you're going to have to sell it from there. And there's no reason not to sell it from there other than you'll have to come back. But fast traveling's so cheap now, you can just come back later. So, that's the route right there. That is roughly the route that you are going to be running. You can feel free to deviate from this any way you want. If you know of any resources in here that you'd like to cut out to get, but these were the valuable ones. This was the best way to get money out of this. And so every time you run this route, though, you're going to run into different situations with what has spawned and what is currently spawned in and what has already been gathered. So sometimes you'll get these weird woods, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll get these lodestones, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll get these ironwood, sometimes you won't. Same thing for this, especially that one definitely. The orichalcum, people are obsessed with getting it right now. So, it's just what's in, what's not. But it's really, really freaking good. So I ran this route for about an hour and a half. And I used to show these little sped up versions, but I've got a lot of feedback that you guys don't like the little sped up version to show you what it's like. So we're just going to skip that. Instead, we're going to go straight into me showing you what I got after 1 hour of farming this route, right around an hour. All right, so I ran that route for just over an hour, right around an hour, and I got all of this. So 107 orichalcum ore, 231 star metal ore, 1,129 silk threads, 8 blister weave, 250 wire fiber, some glint strands, some quill bark, almost 700 weird wood, 250 ironwood basically 1,500 lodestone, and some water motes, a salamander slime, and I got 3 profession crates. I got a harvesting one, a logging one, and a mining one. So, it's pretty good. But let's go see what some of this stuff's worth. All right, so ironwood. It varies a lot nowadays. We are at 0.9 to 1. Oh, we're at 1. That's a scam. We're going to say 1 today for this. And then lodestone, which I have an insane amount of. We're at 0.75. That's really nice. Orichalcum ore. Oh, God, it's so crazy, man. Inflation plus the fact that you can convert it has turned it into the craziest perpetual cycle of money. It's so insane. Silk threads. 0.4. Pretty good. Wire fiber. 0.4. I don't remember what else I was grabbing. Oh, weirdwood. Look at weirdwood real fast. Basically 0.8. There's not a lot of volume there. The real volume hits at around 0.85. So we'll say 0.8. And those are the main bulk ones, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this onto a text editor. Eyes be warned is very bright, as I've someone commented before. It's going to be very white here in a second, so watch out for that. But let's go ahead and throw all this on a text editor and add it all up and see what it's worth. All right, so here is the math. We got all this stuff. We got orichalcum ore worth basically 300, 230 for star metal, 475 for silk threads, 100 for the wire fiber, 250 for the ironwood, 550 for the weirdwood, 1,100 for the lodestone. Water motes were nice. Will pick me up. And here's the big question mark on this one. We got 3 aptitude chests. I'm not sure if the average is higher than that. It was probably higher than that because we were close to getting more, I think. So it might actually be more of an average of 4 or maybe even 5. It also depends on the route and what's going on with the route. But either way, when we add all this up, okay, it's actually pretty darn good. When we add all this up, it came up to 3,765.83 coins in this hour, which was insane. I'm going to put this one at 2,500 to 5,000 coins per hour, depending on your server, depending on how many people are running around with you. Mainly just those 2 factors. Because in my case with this one, I got a decent cycle, but I probably only got about 60% of the resources on my runs. Because Great Cleave is a very populated place my server is one of the highest pop servers in the game. And Great Cleave is, there's so many people running around, and it's not necessarily that they're going for the farming route or a route like this. It's that they're running on the roads, and a lot of these resources are literally right along the road. And so they're just like, oh, look, some weirdwood, and they go grab it. Oh, look, some lodestone, and they grab it. And so I don't really think it's so much of that as much as just there's literally like mofos running around everywhere. But if there was nobody running around and I had these prices, I'm thinking it would have been more around 5,000 an hour. I would have got about 40% more materials probably. So that's something to consider. It definitely can vary depending on just how crowded it is and what time you're doing it and all that. But insane farming route. Really taking advantage of the Azoth system. I guess I could subtract off of this like 50 coins for the fast traveling that I did, because I think it was 2 fast travels in this. I don't even remember. It's all just blurs together now. But either way, it's not very much Azoth to do this, and Azoth's only like 15 a vial now. So it's basically like, it's amazing that the Azoth vials being free has opened up farming routes like this. So expect more farming routes like this in the future, where now that Azoth is free, that opens up a lot of routes that I can create where we run from one place to another, drop our stuff off, and then fast travel back to the starting point and go again. So I'm really excited to make more of those in the coming days and weeks. I'm having actually a lot of fun. I wanted to run this more just because of how much fun that made it. But also, I'll be posting more of that stuff. I post New World news, New World guides, stuff like that right now. Helpful New World videos. So if that sounds interesting, consider subscribing. Also, my social links, or before my social links, I'm going to put in the description, there's a paragraph, and then below the first paragraph, I'm going to have a playlist of my money farming routes. Now, a lot of those videos are outdated. They're from 2 to 3 months ago, but the route is still real. It's just the money values are going to be totally different. And then below that, I'm going to put my socials. So if you want to join my Discord, you can do that. If you want to follow my Twitch channel, you can do that. Or if you want to subscribe to the Patreon for like little insider trading tips that are too small for the YouTube, then you can go down there in the description, look for that too. But that's it. Really awesome money farm. I'm really happy to have found such a good money farm after everything that's changed in the game. Like, it's getting harder to find good money farms, especially with how many people run around doing this. So I'm really happy I'm able to share with you guys another really, really good money farming route that hopefully you can have a lot of fun with. Honestly, it was one of the most fun, if not the most fun money farming route that I've ever farmed in New World.